right, so Numbz, one man band. We back, man, behind the scenes, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Feeling great, man. Life is good.
Weight lifted off the shoulders.
Yeah, it's always like when you hand in the album and you see that it's submitted and you see that everything's cleared. At that point, then you could like feel good about it. Me personally, I'm always like, I like for everything to be done. I know people say their album is dropping a certain date before they even upload it, and before you know it, they apologize and like, oh, sorry for the delay. Like I don't do any of that. I don't even announce my album publicly until I get clearances from distribution. So yeah, once those clearances come through, I always feel good, man.
Let them know a little bit about Numbz, where you from, and kind of your background.
I'm from Newark, New Jersey, man. Brick City raised, home of Redman, and had Wyclef in the area, Lauryn Hill in the area, all from like the Ivy Hill section. I grew up in the Ivy Hill section in Newark, also called Velsburg. I moved to the southern part of New Jersey about 15 years ago or so, near Philly. But my roots are definitely in North Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. So salute to Newark, salute to Jersey, and everybody doing big things from the state.
What made you add production to your arsenal?
If somebody told me like, hey, you're gonna be back doing music, I would have bet 9 out of 10 that it was gonna be on the production side. I always wanted to get back into music. I didn't necessarily know when. I've always been very intrigued with production. I didn't think, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I didn't think about rap. I didn't think about ever getting back into rap, but I knew I always wanted to get an MP and, do some production because I was always infatuated with that. With me working and rapping, and once I did my album with Furious Styles, it's been, talking to him, and he was just like, man, are you a producer? I'm like, nah. He was like, well, you got a producer mind, like, because with Furious, I was letting him know, like, look, hey, can you move the drums here? Can you move the drums? And, in his previous experience with MCs, it was just kind of like people just take the beat and just rap on it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I'm a little bit more hands-on. So, talking to him, and he was just like, yo, you already a producer. You just need to learn how to work a machine. And that was all the push I need, man. I went out, got the MP on August 2nd. And I've been working ever since, man. I can't even really count on my hands the days I even took off. Even if I didn't make a beat, just learning something about the machine, and just, watching YouTube videos, pulling up samples and everything. So it's been a process. It's definitely been a grind, but it's definitely a big relief to get this under my belt for sure.
What has motivated your production specifically with One Man Band?
A lot of Marvin Gaye. He's my favorite artist of all time, regardless of genre. So I listen to a lot of his stuff. His music is just like, from like What's Going On to just like his love songs, and like he was just like a cool dude, man. So I'm definitely into Marvin. And then a lot of hip hop, a lot of people on hip hop Twitter. A lot of my peers, I would like to say, JR's, King James, Abel Mary, of course, Patty Honcho, guys like younger guys, Black Chidori, another dope young MC, guys like that. I'm listening to and getting different things from, and just, they're keeping my pen sharp, and I'm rooting for them. I'm also, they're also pushing me to go harder.
You're real family oriented. That takes a lot of your time. But adding production, adding all these different things to the pot, man, what's some of the pros and cons to now producing and rapping?
Some of the producing and rapping, again, I'm very family oriented. It just means I go to sleep a little bit later. You got to take it from somewhere. I'm not going to take it from them. Secondly, like, they've learned to like live with me making beats in the house now. Like my daughter, who's 3 years old, she'll be like, oh, she'll sit in color while I'm doing a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got her to that point now, so I'm in business. You know what I'm saying? But some of the pros, obviously you can have the beats, exactly how you want it to sound. Furious said the same thing when we were working. He was like, once you learn how to really produce and work the machine, like he said, you're gonna really be deadly, because a rapper that produces can have the sound exactly what he wants, how he wants it. You could send it to another producer and maybe they'll have it 90-95% of what you're looking for, but and you'll take that because it still sounds great, but like it's a little different when you could like do things on your own and kind of customize things. So I think that's the pros. Tough part is, man, it's like as I'm working through this process, I'm getting better at production. So a beat I did in November doesn't sound as good as the one I did in January. So it's like, all right, well, I want to re-record this song on this beat. So it makes you indecisive, whereas if you got it from a different producer, you would have been like, oh, this beat is dope, and you might not even revisit it. So it does make the process take a little longer sometimes.
What makes you post certain beats on social media as opposed to just keeping them for yourself?
That is like an internal struggle sometimes, because there's a couple beats that I sold that I was like, but I think a lot of times it ends up being a beat that I switch out, but I don't call it a throwaway because, it's still dope, because what you put out is your brand. What you put out is who you are as a producer, as a rapper, or whatever the case is. Something maybe something that I switched out, or something that is dope, but it's not hitting me necessarily to write to, or it's something that I have in mind for a particular person, and I'll just send it to that person directly. So like, I know I've sent you a couple joints. I sent Abel a bunch of joints, stuff like that, and a couple other rappers. So that's pretty much how I decide. Or sometimes I'm just not in the mood to be a rapper, and then like I might send out a dope beat that I might want in 2 weeks, and sometimes I would have sold it. So things kind of happen. So it's just all based on, it's a lot of different factors.
Let's stay with the beats, man. What's your sampling process like?
So it could be anything, man. So like it'll start off, me just listening to music, and then as you're going through these streaming platforms like Spotify, whatever you use, there's algorithms, and then like you go from Marvin Gaye to Johnny Taylor, and Johnny Taylor will he'll find something, he'll link you to another person. And what I really like to do, I really like to dig deep into people that you really haven't heard of, or that for instance, like a song from Marvin Gaye that's like below the radar or something like that. So I like to do that. I like to find like exclusives that people haven't used, and sometimes I like to use popular samples that people have used and use a different portion of it. So it really just depends, man. Sometimes you just kind of go down a rabbit hole listening to stuff, and you find some really crazy stuff, especially if you're patient.
Do you have a preference between looping or people who utilize different beat packs, chords, melodies, or do you just prefer to build from the ground up with your sample chops and all your original thought?
It depends. I mean, at the end of the day, I want a dope beat. I don't use drum kits. I'm not against anybody that does. I mean, I probably rap on drum kits. I mean, if the beat's dope, the beat's dope. What you do is what you do. As long as you can make the beat dope, then that's all that really matters to me. Me personally, I'll use a loop. I'll use my chops. I feel better when I sit and chop it myself. So that's my preference a lot of times. But sometimes you just catch an ill loop. You know what I'm saying? And if you could throw some dope beats on, throw some dope drums on there, then that's a good look. But I would say if I had to choose a preference, I would probably say I like to do my own chops. Because sometimes, man, you can get 7 or 8 chops and make 2-3 different beats out of it. So I've done that before too, and they sound totally different. So, it just really depends.
One man band, one feature. Why is that? Why is it just one feature? Why did you, not just keep it consistent with the theme of one man band? You doing the producing and the rapping?
Yeah, I mean, I think the initial plan was to do all of it. As I start writing, on the one beat I had the Jersey's Finest. It's like I kind of wanted to bring somebody else to the forefront on it. Patty's from Jersey. Patty's like my little brother. We got the same birthday. The synergy and the chemistry is just crazy. And I figured it's a way to, kind kind of push him in a way, man. Because every time I talk to Patty, I tell him like, "Yo, you the future, man." I knew that, and I believe that. First time I heard him rapping, you know what I'm saying? So he's crazy dope. He's from Jersey. He gave the anthem a different perspective. We born in different decades, but similar experiences. So I thought to put him on, man, and then from there I didn't want to do too much more. I wanted to basically be a dolo act from there.
We in our own lane. They could try to duplicate, it won't be the same. Numbz and Patty, we reppin' Jersey. We holding it down, we oh so sturdy. We here to change the game, we in our own lane. They could try to duplicate, it won't be the same.
I'm from P-Town, hop in the cypher, boy, let's freestyle. Right now my city in shambles, finna change it. But meanwhile, I'll lead the underground scene if it need a lead. I remember crybabies pour the waters in CNC. Going to the Jets games, not the only time I'm seeing green. I see your team scattered around here like some BDBs. I be king surrounded by kings, no jesters. Dropped out of PCC, I can't listen to those lectures. I flow clever.
What are some songs or some standouts from your perspective on the project that people can expect?
I think the intro, and I think I say this a lot, like the intro is just so important to me. The intro is so important. I think my last 3 projects, I've changed the beat on the intro. I can't stress enough how much music comes out, how I know how I listen to music sometimes, and like if you don't hit me with the intro, sometimes depending on what else I have in the clip to listen to, like I might not make it to the second song. So I think the intro is strong because it kind of ties into my whole production process and how I'm still an MC. Another joint I would say is the last song, Dreaming. I think is a really dope song because it it ties in like. It's really a dream to be able to one, be able to get into rap again, and then 2, be able to produce, and then 3, to produce my own album. Like that's crazy to me. I never thought that, I'd be doing that. I thank God that I have the opportunity and that He's given me the skill set so quickly to be able to do that. And that's what Dream is about. And then Jersey's Finest, man. Nothing like the rep your state. Patty and I have been getting good feedback on that, so it's a dope anthem joint that's doing well right now, so it fits right into the project.
Can you let the supporters know about your growth and just overall what could they expect from the album?
Overall, it's I think every song's different. Every song, there's songs I'm just going in on the bars. There's songs that have specific themes to it. It's just different. Like a lot of the beats are different. Some have drums, some have no drums. I know this is like a constant discussion on Twitter. Like I don't really have a preference, but some of the beats are drumless, some of them beats are with drums or whatever. And I think it's just a good variation. I think it's sequenced well. I can't stress how important it is to have have your album sequenced correctly. Like it could be a difference between having a 3-mic album and a 4-mic album with the same exact songs. But yeah, so I think it's just a good balance. I think it's a good listen on 22, 23 minutes, something like that. And it's just dope. Some of it has hooks, some of it doesn't. I just wrote what I felt and kept it moving from there.
All right, one last time. When does the project drop and where can people find you?
So people can find me on Twitter at Numbz, the number 16, at Numbz, the number 16. And also on IG at Numbz Music. Make sure you have Numbz with a Z. And it's dropping April 4th. It'll be on all digital streaming platforms as well as Bandcamp on April 4th. So appreciate it. Appreciate your time. I hope y'all love it. I hope y'all share it. I think that's the best thing you can do for artists that you like or that you rock with, sharing it. You can support it on Bandcamp, stream it, tell your family, tell your friends, all that. So I think it's a dope project. I think it'll resonate with most people in the hip hop Twitter world and people that like or feeling the underground hip hop, man. So looking forward to putting this out. again, I produced the whole thing, so it holds a special place for me. And I'm just looking to make some good music that'll resonate with people.
All right, good people, y'all go check out One Man Band, April 4th, dropping everywhere. Before that, if you guys are watching this before that, go stream all his previous works. Get familiar if you're not too familiar, and you definitely will enjoy this body of work that's coming. So with that said, man, we out.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.